Hello everyone, this is Mortal Glitch here with Omega Raven Productions. What I have in front of us today is the native Linux Unity 3D editor. Now this is an experimental build, they consider it a beta still. There are some bugs, and that's kind of what I was wanting to go over today. As you can see here for the project I have loaded up, it's a little prototype, I guess you could say, for a fantasy live sim I'm kind of playing around with. You can pick up items, and I'm going to implement some sort of crafting with it. But yeah, for the play mode, I've been experiencing a few problems, specifically in Linux. If I go into it here, let's see, go ahead and start play mode. As you can see, it starts out, I can look around, I can do a few things in the game, like I can walk over, pick up items. But if I go over here, try to lock the cursor down, once the cursor is locked, you'll notice the behavior gets a little bit weird. Like, it doesn't seem to have a true focus on the window. Like, I'll start to look down barely, and it jumps. Or I try to look up, and it shoots way up into the air. Randomly turned without me doing anything there, and it just doesn't seem to behave that well with the mouse, but with the cursor unlocked, works fine. Now, this is only when you're doing it in play mode. If you actually do a build for it and produce like an actual Linux file you can run to test the game, this effect seems to be gone. It seems to only be when you're in the editor itself. I don't know if that's the focus problem that I've seen some people mentioning or what. Now, another thing I've had as far as play mode goes is, if you'll notice up here, the buttons that are normally used for interacting with the scene builder, if you bind any keys to something that interacts with the scene, it'll go through and it'll actually activate those buttons while you're in play mode. Like right now, if I hit Q on the keyboard, it switches it out to the grab. If I hit W, it switches it back to the move, E, rotate, so on and so forth. And it'll jump over those. Now that's not a huge deal because it doesn't seem to actually affect the gameplay any, but it is showing that the play mode window or the game mode window is losing focus. Now, as far as the code and what I've been working on so far in the prototype, seems to be working fine. Like, as you can see, Inspector shows up like it normally would in Windows. Have my little inventory list here, so it is activating and working properly. You can see everything is updating quickly. I can go over here, open up my non-existent crafting window, can force a refresh on the inventory. I can see I now have coal in there, which apparently I'm still using a stolen graphic from Minecraft. I apologize for that. Now, let's see. All in all, it's been pretty stable so far. I've had a lot more luck with this than I did when I was trying to run Unity through Wine. Through Wine, I was having a lot of problems. You know, I would randomly have missing assets, or stuff just wouldn't load up, or it would be missing textures, screen would randomly tear. There was a bunch of issues I had with that. This is a lot more stable, and I like the direction it's going. I'm really hoping they continue to push forward with it. I would like to definitely see this come up to be close to the same level as what it is on Windows. One other problem I've been experiencing is occasionally, like if you create a new object, say 3D object cube, go ahead and set it in the scene, move it over here, get it out of the player. If you go over and you try to add something through the inspector, so let's say I attach a script and go quick test. That one worked. I can go into physics, add rigid body. Now, occasionally when adding stuff through the inspector, it'll lock up. Like, right now the mouse seems to be stuck. There we go. And it has crashed. Okay, so it doesn't pop it up here on the actual video itself, but I do have the bug reporter popped up now. It's just occasionally adding items through the inspector, it will cause it to hang up and crash. The way I've found to get around that for the time being is, like, if you're wanting to add a script, just drag it directly over to the inspector, drop it in, or if you have the object close on the scene view, just drag it to the actual object in the scene view, and it seems to work just fine. I've submitted a couple of bug reports on this so far, but some of the times I haven't included my attached files just because currently one of the projects I was testing with it is over a gig. Didn't really want to update all that, but yeah. Anyways, so that's the video for today. I just wanted to do a kind of little quick overview of what's been going on with it. Hopefully we'll see more, and thanks for